is a professor of sociology at Mount Royal University. He joins us live now. Muhannad, just in terms of the implications of this, it seems now to be emerging that the consensus around what's transpired is not necessarily an end of the ceasefire, but it is another instance of Palestinians being killed while there is supposed to be a ceasefire in place. That number standing now at more than 100 since the start of the ceasefire 2.5 weeks ago. Where does this leave us as far as the ceasefire is concerned, as far as, in Donald Trump's words, peace in the Middle East is concerned?
Thank you so much for having me. Well, this is quite predictable. What Israel's understanding of a ceasefire is that, the opposing side, whether it's in Hezbollah in Lebanon or Hamas in Gaza, or anywhere else, quite frankly, they would stop firing at Israel, and Israel will continue to fire just in more limited ways. But it's what they have done right now is far from a little, quote unquote, a little skirmish, as Vice President Vance put it. That's an insult to facts and reality to call it that. It's a violence as well to call it that. This is a quite brutal attack on Palestinians. We're already hearing reports of injured and killed children, men and women as well. And this is Israel's idea of a ceasefire. They get to do everything they want to get to do, and the other side has to bow down to them. And that's how they have always understood the ceasefire, and that is how they will continue to understand the ceasefire. The Americans can do all they want to try to continue to put lipstick on this genocidal campaign, but facts are facts. The Israeli government is not interested in a long-lasting ceasefire. They are still determined to end the Palestinian struggle for independence and sovereignty. And the Americans, the Trump so-called peace plan is far from a peace plan. It will never bring permanent peace to Palestine, let alone the region, because it refuses to name, let alone oppose the underlying structures. And the underlying structures, the whole problem here is that Israel wants to create Israeli Jewish sovereignty from the river to the sea and eliminate the Palestinian cause once and for all. And so long as that remains untouched, unnamed, we will continue to see violence being unleashed largely on the Palestinian people.
And Muhannad, as far as next steps are concerned, we just heard Craig there talking about the significance of Donald Trump's take in all of this. Trump, of course, has quite clearly attached himself to the outcome of this, and the vested interest of the Americans no doubt playing a part in the comments we were hearing from J.D. Vance. What do you suspect is going to go on behind the scenes, though, out of the light of the public glare? And what is this going to do, really, as far as the relationship between the United States and Israel is concerned at the moment?
So the number one thing is that you can never rely on the United States in general, let alone the Trump administration. So what I hope is happening behind the scenes right now is that especially Qatar and Turkey are on the phone frantically with the American counterparts, trying to pressure them to put pressure on Israel. This is an absolutely key and necessary thing that countries around the world, but especially these two that have taken a lead role in the last few weeks, especially, to continuously put pressure on the Trump administration. So that's number one. Number two, the American administration needs to start seeing that its unconditional support for Israel, that it's playing this kind of marketing, rebranding role for Israel is not going to work. That people around the world and states around the world are not buying into this narrative that Trump is putting forward. Maybe some of the leaders in front of him are sucking up to him and telling him what he wants to hear and nominating him for the Nobel Peace Prize and all of this nonsense. But in reality, most countries, most leaders, and most people around the world understand what Israel is carrying out is a genocide, and that the Americans need to start putting real pressure on Israel. So I suspect that there are some conversations happening behind the scenes between Israel and the U.S. For them to become meaningful, though, we think we need those other conversations from other parts of the world directed at the U.S., explaining to them the dire consequences of continuing down this path of unconditional support for Israel. It can't happen with slaps on the wrist either. They have to take serious serious pressure. They have to a serious position and exert serious pressure on the Israelis. We have not seen that yet from the Americans. We need to see that, and I think that other more responsible actors on the world stage need to step up more and continuously pressure the Trump administration in this direction.
All right. Thank you very much for your take there, Muhannad Ayyash, Professor of Sociology at Mount Royal University.